Yeah, let loose the penguins of war. No. That, yeah. Well, this is the third Patreon stream I've ever done. And actually, Tiger Lily and I came up with this idea for doing the paranormal thing. So this should be quite interesting. And then on Friday, I hope to have I believe it's DDF Ghost Hunting. I believe that's their channel name. I would have to double check that, but they're supposed to be coming on Friday to pretty much debunk everything that we say tonight. So it'll be fun. Should be entertaining. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, good. How about you all?
Fantastic.
Just
Kind of.
phenomenal.
Well, yeah, MC, we had fun earlier talking a little bit of history. Come on, that was an entertaining stream. You got the upper hand because the CSA had what? No Navy really to speak of. A couple ships that we talked about, but that's all there was. Like we almost covered every ship they had, but it was entertaining. Next weekend, I get to whoop your ass in the 7 days campaign. It'll be great.
Well, you're not going to whoop my ass. I mean, history is history. It's what happened. It's not like I'm there to change it or anything.
Well, I thought we were getting our good up. I already have mine gassed up in the driveway.
I've been working on my Mr. Fusion, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, there you go. You'd probably be the phone booth variety, huh? You're going Doctor Who and this shit.
I do miss the TARDIS. That's true.
But no, we want to talk a little bit about the paranormal and some ghost stuff. Tiger Lily, how about you start it off since you're technically paying for this stream?
Well, what made me a believer was personal things that had happened in my life. One of the scariest things that happened was when I was 16 and I saw a woman pretty much walk across my bedroom, and I freaked out and ran upstairs and was hysterical, and I wouldn't go downstairs. I was scared. And I tried talking to a psychologist because I thought maybe I'm nuts or something. And I told you guys the story though, like she asked me if I was on medications. I only told her birth control, and I told her all the stuff that happened, and then after all that she was just like, I can't believe a girl like you's running around doing that. I'm like, doing what? And she's like, having sex. She totally like dismissed everything I said to her and was focused on that. So that's when I was like, pretty much fuck it, and I didn't bring it up to anyone again. I told my mom I was fine. And then just other things that have happened also from places I lived at, my kids seeing things that I saw, but I tried to play it off like I didn't see it because I didn't want to scare them. And just like lights going on and off, and people visiting and having things happen to them that they couldn't explain, like being tapped on the shoulder and looking behind them and seeing that there was no one there. So yeah.
Well, what do you think, MC? Do you believe in ghosts, or is it all bollocks?
Truthfully, I have no idea. All right, and what I mean by that is first of all, let me answer the part of the question. I don't believe it's all bollocks. All right, there's too much that goes on that people have seen. Right, I'm not going to talk about certain aspects of things that I've seen, although some of what you know. All right, but there's a lot out there that we have no idea what it is, how it works. All right, and from a scientific standpoint, it's not explainable. So what do you do then? Well, there's got to be an explanation somewhere. Some people have things. Well, I'll relate one story. I lost my brother when I was in the Army to a semi-accident. And at the time it happened, all right, my sister was with my mother, and she stood there and told my mother that my brother had died. And, obviously they're miles and miles away. Well, how would you know that, right? This makes me, with in addition to other things, makes me think, okay, there's got to be something. And there are documented accounts where people have done this many, many times. Now, what the skeptics will say is that, yeah, but what they don't document are the times when somebody says something and they're wrong. Okay. And okay, that's possibly true. I don't know. But when there's an impression of something that is not normal, right? When it hits you and you know it's not part of the normal experience, right? It's not like these things don't happen. I mean, people that are non-believers will see ghosts. I mean, there are plenty of people here on YouTube, right, which goes into that. One of which is there's a gentleman named Terrence Pop, and he's kind of a MGTOW kind of person, but he related a story when he was in the military of basically having to sleep near a Civil War graveyard, and every one of the soldiers that was on duty that had to serve guard duty that night saw ghosts. So there's obviously things that from a paranormal standpoint, whether it's suggestion or whatever, I don't know, but I can tell you that I don't believe that these things don't exist. You're not going to convince me that it's all just in the mind, because these things happen to people when there's no mental reason why it should happen to somebody. There's no scientific reason why mentally they should be all of a sudden susceptible to something, right? And until you can come back and really give me a good clear explanation of this, I'm going to continue to believe that there are paranormal activities, and up to and including ghosts.
Right. I mean, and plus when there's more than one person that sees the same thing, how can it be BS?
Well, exactly. And these things, I mean, it's not it. There's been many documented cases of these kind of things happening. Now, that doesn't mean that people are necessarily truly psychic, although, to be honest, I think there's an aspect of that that's accurate as well.
Yeah, MK. Well, maybe it wasn't MK Ultra because that was a different program. But the CIA had a program where they actually had astral projection, and they actually saw bases and were able to describe them. I mean, that was a real phenomenon.
They were doing remote viewing, but I mean, a remote viewing kind of context. But they came back and they canceled the program for a variety of reasons. How effective those remote viewing sessions were are obviously highly up to date, up to debate rather. But at the same time, do I think that that everything is nonsense? No, there's plenty in the universe that we don't know, that we can't explain, that we don't have a handle on. Should we believe each and everything that comes down there? Perhaps not. But if in the absence of all other explanations, that are logical within the context of what happened, you know what? I think you got to leave your mind open. I think people have to have an open mind with this. I don't think that this is something. The other part about this that people have to realize is this isn't a new phenomenon.
I was actually going to bring that up when I was going to say something. I was actually thinking that. I was like, people across all habitable continents have always known or had some inclination that there was something after death. Sometimes entities of all varieties can become stuck to Earth, and cultures of all variations and of all types have these types of experiences and stories.
Right. Widely separated. All right.
Yep.
In fact, in areas that are completely isolated, all right, where they have these experiences as well. So, yeah, I agree with you. The phenomenon isn't just Western phenomenon or Middle European phenomenon or anything like that. It's across all cultures. Talk about ghosts. All cultures have ghost stories.
Like Cinco de Mayo, isn't that one in Mexico?
That's an entire holiday based around it. Yeah.
Yeah, the veil is thin a certain time of the year, I guess, October, November. And they celebrate the dead, their loved ones that have passed over. Is that what it is? Pretty much.
Yeah, and the Catholics have All Saints Day or whatever, which is kind of the same thing. You're memorializing the dead saints. There's all sorts of different things across separate cultures. You guys are right. And there's sightings and photographic evidence. I had this argument with Mole, and if Mole sees this on and he wants to jump on, he could have this argument with me again. But I don't buy. I don't buy it. There's photographic evidence, and not all of it is fucking Photoshop.
Well, no, not everything is Photoshop, but then again, everything is still, it doesn't make explanations of why people have been seeing ghosts for so long, right? Why they are hearing the names of loved ones? Why all of a sudden somebody one time will go, wait a minute, Uncle Joe, who's been dead for 6 years, just told me that behind the stove is this, and they go behind the stove and they find the lost item that they've been looking for 30 years, right? These are not, I know people just laugh that kind of stuff off, but these things happen, and
Oh, yeah.
they're documented, and it happens
Yeah.
in every, like you said before, it happens in every culture across the globe, right? Even in the isolated cultures in Borneo and things like that, they also have some kind of reverence, all right, for the spirits, all right, and the inhabitants of the spirits. So I personally do believe that ghosts do exist, and I personally believe that spirits, there's a spiritual life after death.
Well, no, and DDF Ghost Hunting is actually in the chat, and like I just said in the chat, and I said at the beginning, I plan on doing a debunking one of these on Friday, where we go the opposite way and we show how exactly, maybe it's not real. But tonight we're gonna talk like they're real. All right. So I mean, I've had a couple experiences. One of them, I was a kid and I saw a shadow. So did my cousin. It was a shadow being is what it's pretty much called. Something darker than the black of the hallway moved through, and I heard the bathroom door slam shut, and nothing ever came back. We stayed up for hours. We were scared shitless. I was about 8 years old when that happened, right before I moved up north to Oregon. So there's that one. Another time I was walking through the graveyard, which I could pull up the name of the graveyard and everything, maybe, if my computer will let me.
I will link the chat for you in our side chat. That way it's right there for you. Here you go. This one should be it. Look, you bastard. I fucking asked you to do something and I expect you to do it. Grr.
She's being denied by her equipment.
And yes.
It's been possessed. And I apologize.
I'm not in the mood to joke around about it today either. For fuck's sakes, there you go. Huzzah. You go mad. Good talk. Thanks for coming out.
Mad Dodge, are you there? He's probably trying to wrangle his kids in there. But yeah, people have always talked about ghosts in cemeteries. Okay, well, you kind of expect that. But
yeah,
I mean, if you go throughout the United States or even in areas around the world, right? If you go to Europe, if you go to Asia, they will always, in any kind of major area, will point out to areas that they say are haunted. It doesn't matter if you're in Korea. It doesn't matter if you're in Australia. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States or anywhere in the many areas of Europe, Germany, England, etc. There's always areas where they say this area is haunted, right? Well, there's got to be a reason why they're coming back and saying they're haunted, and the reason is because people have had experiences that there's literally no scientific explanation for. People have seen things, have talked to people, have seen actions from people that can't be explained any other way than say that there's some kind of energy force or force that exists within these areas. I mean, during the Civil War, there were many times where documented cases where people knew when their loved ones on the battlefield had died before they were even told.
Like they came and visited them, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is, For example, on both sides of the battlefield, these things were documented. They were written down. People wrote them in their diaries, and they wrote it in their notes. That's how people wrote those things down. It's not that they were necessarily telling other people. They were writing these things down in their libraries, or in their diaries, saying, okay, on this day, I had this here. I know that this was a visit from such and such a loved one. I know that he has died on the battlefield. And of course, then they go back and take a look at the date and the time that the person said they wrote it in the diary, and they go back and find out, okay, here's a diary entry. Here's when the person actually died. How do you explain that?
Right. That's crazy. It reminds me too, my boss at the time, he's like a firefighter, and like I could tell from his reaction, like the way he was telling the story, like he was freaked out, and he was showing me a picture of a place that burnt down, and you could see this woman. She was like see-through, but you can see it was a woman, like a silhouette, whatever. And the style of clothing didn't match the time period at all. And he had goosebumps up his arms telling the story of things that happened there. And it was just freaky, like how can you fake having goosebumps, and just his reaction when looking at the picture and everything. And it wasn't something he liked to tell people a lot about. But, I'm not judgmental like that. Like if someone wants to tell me or share something like that, I'm willing to listen. It was just creepy.
Well, yeah. Now, generally, I think that most of the things that happen are not, for lack of a better term, benevolent. All right. But I also believe that there are malevolent spirits as well. Right. The things that people that are being done by spirits that are looking to, and this is just my opinion. I've not had firsthand experience with this, but I do believe that there are malevolent spirits that roam the earth.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, maybe they woke up and had a bad hair day. I don't know, but I do believe that. Now, I think that they are not the rule; they are the exception. I think most of the cases are like I was, identifying earlier, where a loved one is letting their family members know, okay, I've moved on.
Well, yeah, but there's other types of hauntings as well. There's pretty much the rewind and fucking play effect, where it's just the same scene playing over and over again in like a house or whatever. Something traumatic happened, like the Civil War. These soldiers just keep refighting it over and over again the same way, and they're not actually intelligent and don't actually interact.
Well, I wonder if that's something a little bit different. I wonder in those cases whether or not it's not really a haunting per se, but more of like what's left from a psychic impression.
Oh yeah,
residual energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, real. Like you see that a lot in old houses. People say it soaks into the wood.
Like the same scenario plays over and over and over again the same time.
Memory goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the people can perceive that memory across the, for lack of a better term, the void. Where okay, it's made such an impression for whatever reason it's so strong that it ripples through time and space. And there's that connection.
Well, there's another option that's out there. Astrophysics, the soap bubble effect, pretty much the multiverse. Two dimensions could be blending together at certain times, and that is what you're actually seeing. It's not necessarily the spiritual realm; it's actually another dimension.
You're seeing a possible reflection on a spin effect, like a skin effect. What you're saying?
Yeah, and I heard that explanation before. That's not my words. I don't remember exactly who said it, but yeah, I've heard that explanation before. Like it could be, and there's just a bleed over.
The one thing I don't believe about that, it's another dimension that's reliving itself. The ghosts that we see in the future, they're just reliving the exact same thing over and over because they don't know what happens the next minute. They disappear. until they'll come back to life. So I don't really believe that theory.
You think there are
You said
people
that, Dodge.
that there are ghosts that are stuck in a loop for whatever reason?
Yeah. They don't know what happened. They just know what's currently happening in their time frame. They died. They don't really know it. So they're playing out what they know before they bite the dust.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah. Like it was so traumatic and everything.
Well, that would be a sad existence. You can't escape the final trauma of your life.
Well, it's been said commonly that a haunting is created during a very quick or extremely traumatic death.
Or
So-
very sudden.
One of you guys will look up what Dave threw in there.
I am
And
now.
see what he's talking about for me. Thank you very much.
Was this the cemetery that you put in the side chat that you were looking
Yep.
for, Mad Dodge?
Yeah, that's it's right there on the U of O campus. It's old as hell, and it's known for having a haunting. There's also ghost stories about LCC. I was right in the middle of telling you guys about what happened, and then my internet dropped, so you probably didn't hear it. But I can't be bothered today. I'm having a shitty day. I'm not repeating the fucker. Like, god damn it. But that is a really interesting graveyard, and I didn't just go there, get drunk, and trash anything. I actually went there and looked at shit. Like, took tombstone rubbings sometimes. You know, fucking a really old fucking gravestones. You know, you put the paper up there, you fucking use a pencil. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I've done it.
You know what day we should have had this on? This did theme perfect.
You want to do this for a Halloween stream? Is that
On-
what you're thinking?
Yeah, on Halloween, talk about spirits, talk about the dead. I mean, it fits right out the alley.
I'm down.
I'll go ahead and buy an Ouija board, and we'll try it out
I'm
on
not
there.
doing a Ouija.
We'll see how that goes.
I won't do a
Oh,
Ouija
God.
board.
Ouija board is something I will not do. I'll play with the flashlights. I'll play with the recorders. I'll play with the electromagnetic field detectors. But the Ouija board, I will not play with.
You're opening portals and shit.
Yeah, I won't touch a Ouija board either.
Just
God
yeah,
damn,
just have
they're all pussies.
And Hasbro has a great
That's
idea.
fine.
to
I
do something
will
like
admit I am one. I'm not messing with them in that way.
I don't know why Hasbro put them as toys when they're not really toys.
Because they
That's what I
are.
don't get.
They're fucking toys.
They're
Summoning-
not toys.
Summoning demons is not a toy. Just saying.
Well, 2011. I actually was in basic training with someone who actually played with the Ouija board, and he says that shit is for real. And he was a Satanist.
Oh,
I know.
my mom is scared of them too. Whatever. I've done tarot. I've messed with the Ouija boards. Whatever. I like the
Okay,
occult.
hold on. I'll do tarot all day long. Tarot card readings all day long.
Stuff bullshit. But
Out
Ouija
of
boards are not.
out of fear of what a Ouija board could possibly maybe be capable of, fuck that shit.
I've
Oh,
had too
that's
many
it.
good friends, and I've had too many strange experiences playing with a Ouija board. I'm never going to touch a Ouija board.
That's it, Tiger Lily. When you do come out and visit, I'm gonna fucking have an Ouija board ready.
I'll
We're
sleep
done.
outside.
When he hands it
Go
to you,
sleep
hit him
I'll
outside.
fucking sleep on the roof. Fuck that.
hit him over the head with it about 3 times to induce the proper attitude before he puts it away.
God damn.
I'm not
Like,
playing.
I don't know why people are so scared of them. My mom is the same way. Like, it's a fucking board and this little plastic fucking thing. Like it's nothing. It's
Because
nothing.
of the experiences people have had with those things, they know that there's possibilities there that they don't want to mess with. So why take the risk?
There's some
I
stories.
get creepy feelings whenever I see a Ouija board, right? Or even when there's one in a room, I'll get a creepy feeling about things, and I'll ask. And Ouija boards, to me, I'll leave them. I'll never touch them. I just will not touch them.
And the thing with Ouija boards too, like those things lie to you. You don't know if they're being honest to you, like who they really are. Just like fucking whatchamacallit? or what was it? I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
What you got?
Or that little girl was possessed or whatever. It was
The
based on a
Exorcist?
true story. Yeah, it was based on a true story. The little kid was messing with the Ouija board. She thought this thing was her friend, and then all that shit happened.
You see, children, you talk about us and you summon us.
Right.
God damn it.
You don't really know what you're talking to or what you're messing with and what you're allowing in your house.
So hypothetically, like my problem with Ouija boards, it's not that I'm out and outright just afraid of them. Like your mom is mad. Like, mom, you were raised Catholic. Let's be fair here. She's afraid of it for religious.
Yeah.
reasons. I'm not afraid
Yeah,
of it for anything like that. It's the potential and what I've heard that makes
Yeah,
me
it's always been like, personally, I don't really. The way I sum up my beliefs is I genuinely believe something listens when I pray. That's it. I don't believe in like any sort of deities or demons or whatever, but it's just like, why would you fuck around with something like that? Why even take the chance?
Exactly. That's my point. Is like I don't even want to play with the idea of something happening.
I'm the asshole who saw a cougar loose, and it was in the field I was working in, and I walked towards
Did you try to go fuck her?
No, not that type of cougar, buddy.
Damn it.
I'm talking about a cat. I'm talking about a big cat that's gonna eat you. And my buddy is backing up and almost pissing himself, literally. And I'm walking towards him. I'm like, that's not really a fucking cougar. Oh, well, shit, it is.
Raw, motherfucker.
Why is this thing chewing on my leg? It was just a stuffed toy.
Hey, wait a minute. Where did the other third of my blood go?
Oh my god!
But I'm that guy, all right. Like I'm the black guy in the movie, I guess. Like
You're the volunteer moron. You're the one we get to sacrifice when we're running away.
Fun fact:
I don't have to
haven't.
run fast. I just have to run faster than Mad Lib.
That'll be no. We just have to run faster than MC. He's a boomer. He'll be left in the dust.
Oh, I'm tripping him first. I'm shoving his ass over.
You don't have to go past this
Shove
one.
his ass over, but I can shoot your ass and I'll leave you for dead.
Fucking get together, have a Ouija board session, try to run out of the house. I'm tripping fucking Mad. I'm tripping MC. Fucking the only person I'm not gonna stick a leg out in front of is probably tigerlilly because I'm gonna be pushing her ahead of me to get out the door.
If that happens, I'm raising my hands and I'm screaming, "Those with the highest amount of future potential first!" And I'm fucking running.
No, but Hoodie Demon, you're a lot younger than most of us here on the panel, I think.
Yep.
Probably
not
not me.
So do you actually believe in ghosts? I've seen them, and I shared at least one thing before my internet dropped. So,
Well, put it this way. I'm really into psychedelics, so you can get a handle on my spiritual beliefs pretty much based on knowing that. But like I said, I don't really believe in any sort of deities or entities. Like I said, I do believe something listens when I pray. I guess if I had to put a name to it, I would say it's a spirit guide of some sort. So logic would dictate, if say this is going off of if that is real. If that's real, why isn't there something real that's capable of a more malevolent form of that? And if that is real, why would you fuck around and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna summon it. I'm gonna summon it."
We gonna have us some tea on Tuesday.
Like, fun fact: I have one of my Discord friends. He at least claims, because he went to Japan on vacation a while back, and it was pretty cool. But he bought a box that he claims holds a shoujo, and I'm like, why? What are you fucking gonna do if that breaks by falling?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, why would you bring that in your house?
No,
Why
I'll
the hell
tell
would
you exactly
buy a
what's
box
gonna
with a
happen.
sojo in it from the first place?
You're gonna get fucking mauled, and your heart's gonna get ripped out. That's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna have
He's like-
something snack.
He's like, "It's cool." I was like, "Okay, did you bring a silver katana home with you? Do you know a Shinto priest within walking distance? Then you're fucked, dude, if that breaks."
well, yeah, you're talking about. And hopefully, I'm not roboting because you guys were breaking a slight bit. Hopefully, I'm good.
You started
but-
roboting as soon as you started talking about it.
Okay, am I good now?
Pretty good.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. what about Annabelle then? Do you believe in cursed objects and shit
Oh,
like that?
fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren, and let's talk about Robert the fucking doll.
Well, hold on. Let's first define what we mean by cursed object, because a possessed object and a cursed object are very different.
This is true.
I mean, a phylactery is a cursed object, but Annabelle and Robert were possessed objects.
Exactly.
They are possessed. I would not go anywhere near those two dolls.
I have been in the same room as Robert. I have been in the same room as Robert when his glass cover was off of his display.
I'm not saying I'm calling bullshit, but I'm calling bullshit. They don't remove that, even unless you fucking have millions of dollars to throw in their face, because that's one of the biggest pieces.
They weren't removing it for me. They were removing it to fucking change out the letters that were inside around the fucking chair, dude.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I was sorry. I needed more context. I was like, what?
No. It was towards the end of the month, and they were cycling out the old letters. Because, believe it or not, that museum gets so much fucking mail because of them. Like,
yeah, I believe it.
It's not even a joke. Like, the dude that came in to bring the letters had a mail bag, and he was just opening them and pinning them to the wall.
Oh wow.
Can we agree on one thing, though? While both benevolent and malevolent entities may or may not exist, those ghost hunter shows are shows for dumb fucks run by dumb fucks.
More than likely, yes.
You know what really?
Yeah.
You know what really sucks is I really liked Ghost Hunters, the original one that came out.
Don't you mean so fakers?
But I found out they were faking shit, man. I even bought their book and shit. Like, that's what got me into ghost hunting. That's why I was hanging out in graveyards. And like, son of a bitch, you guys are faking it the whole time. It's bullshit.
And your experience, the real shit.
Have you guys
I know.
heard of the Blue Baby?
No.
That's fucking awesome. So it's in California. I believe it's in Benicia, but it could also be between Benicia and Vallejo. Lake Herman Road, that was one of the territories that was one of the hunting grounds for the Zodiac Killer. And he killed a woman who was pregnant at one time. And it's been said that when she was killed, one some odd number in the morning, if you drive down Lake Herman Road, you will see a fucking blue baby ghost on the road. And there's been a lot of people on that road who have veered off into a ditch.
Yeah, I think I've actually heard about that.
Yo, fuck that.
Which goes back to another thing, what we were saying earlier. There are, if it's just one person, who doesn't even know the story, right? And these things happen to them on a consistent basis in a specific area. How can you deny that there's something going on?
Yeah, I'm not even saying that it's supernatural in nature. There's tons of shit that science can't explain yet, but something is happening, and it's pretty stupid to deny that something is happening.
Right, and when the stories come all back the same, saying, okay, there was some kind of apparition that the people saw that caused them to veer away, then that's their testimony, right? I mean,
yeah.
You start to say, okay, and many times it's people who don't even know the history of the area. So then, how the heck are they being affected by the history of the area coming to mind?
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, Christopher Kirkland has had some experiences. He's in the chat.
I still say the scariest kind of apparition in my eyes is a lady in white.
There's so many ladies in whites.
Well, it's basically just the scorned woman's spirit who usually has a wedding gown or some sort of white dress. I don't know what it is, but female ghosts are so much more fucking scary than male ghosts.
You are absolutely correct.
Children ghosts.
Oh, wait a minute. I get it. It's because females are just generally scarier in real life, too, so it would make sense.
Yeah, women are evil, remember? We already covered this.
We've covered this multiple times on multiple streams and off air.
I have a quick question. Who muted me in the chat?
Not me.
That's Dade. He must be in a cuntish mood. He's a good guy though, and been around since the beginning, so I'm not taking his wrench away. I do apologize for that, but I don't mute people. It was Dade.
All right. Well, can you go ahead and unmute me on both accounts?
Yeah, I'll check and yeah. Yep, it's all good.
All right. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, good to go.
Damn it! I wish I was supposed to hang out with him today. I wish I can get him on here. I have a buddy. He lives in a really small town that was originally, when it was first started, had a problem with like murderers and shit. So he thought he had close encounter with the third kind, but he actually was like possibly inches away from being the victim of a murderer.
Oh wow.
That's scary.
Basically, like the short version is he was walking home from his friend's house because he fought with his parents about staying the night. It was like 2 a.m, and there's a big ass forest in the center of the town, and it's like a shortcut. He was gonna go through it, but 1 a.m, so he walks along the side, and he hears like whispering, and like he said he distinctly heard the words "come here," and that's when he just fucking booked it. It's like, when you run so long that you lose feeling in your legs. That's what he said happened. And the next morning, police found in that forest a guy who was imprisoned for raping and murdering a bunch of teenage boys. And they found he had escaped from a prison in the neighboring city, and he was hiding out in the woods.
Oh wow.
He ran because he thought it was like a demon or something, because he's a lot more superstitious than I am.
He probably wasn't wrong when you look at it from that context.
Yeah, hey, he's certainly not a demon, but he's probably the closest a fucking human could get. Well, without being Obama, of course, or Hillary.
Jesus.
Hillary's a lizard people, not a.
I just want to say, since we're on the topic, I'm not saying I believe she is, but if it was revealed that Hillary was an actual demon from a place called hell, would anybody be surprised?
Not
No.
really.
I'm glad we can all agree.
Yeah,
I
she'd
don't
just be
think
like,
any of us would be surprised if they said that about the current pope.
she reveals her true
Oh,
form.
right.
Here, mortals, and be like, yep, see, called it. Now where's my $5?
Well, no, I just went over and looked at this place on the Oregon coast. It's in Florence. The Gray Lady at Hecta Head Lighthouse, an Oregon ghost story. She ended up dying, I believe, in 1894. It looks like. But yeah, it's the Gray Lady, so it's not a lady in white. But you're right, like the women ghosts do seem to be quite prevalent, at least, whether it be folklore or if it is real. You know what I mean?
Have you guys? I got a lot of fucking stories. So, have you guys heard the story of the Somerville Light down in? It's either North Carolina or South Carolina that Somerville is in. It's one of those two. Can't forget, or can't remember. Excuse me.
Somerville. Is that the one on the coast?
I think it's the coast because it's the East Coast.
I know where it's at. It's like Somerville on the coast where a nun died, but every time the bad storm comes, you'll see the nun telling you to go inside. Hours before the storm hits.
Jesus, that's fucking scary. Like, honestly, I think it's creepier when someone encounters a ghost that they say helped them. Like that. Go inside before the storm hits.
Yeah, there is. I forget.
Why
I know
does
it's
that
in America.
I don't know. It's just like, I think it's a trust thing. It's like, you've got the ability to fucking throw a grand piano across the room and kill me like that, and you're choosing to help me? I don't fucking trust you one bit.
Basically, would you be appreciative of that?
Oh man.
What do you mean?
I'd much rather get the help than have the piano flying at me, don't you think?
Right.
No, I'm saying if a ghost is gonna come at me, I would rather it just fucking come at me and not try to deceive me.
Well, how is the ghost deceiving anybody if they're just helping?
I can't read ghost mind. I don't know if it's saying, hey, come here, because a freaking car is about to roar in front of me where I'm going to walk, or if it's saying, hey, come here, I'm about to go slit-mouth woman on your ass.
Oh wow.
And then I'll fucking die, and you see my face I died with my face in a grimace.
I fucking knew this was gonna happen. God damn it.
Yeah, that'd be me. I'd be getting stabbed to death, and instead of screaming in pain, I'd be like, fuck, I knew it! Why did I listen to myself?
You hear come here and it's like, okay, either A, it's about to steal my meat suit, or B, a car was about to hit me. Let's hope it's the latter.
Well, if you can see, you can usually see the light of the car going. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that was a good plan.
You come here. How about that?
Oh, that's it. Invited in. Good plan.
Well, this could be really, MC. You've got cars barreling next to your front door.
Well, not barreling, no, but I mean they do drive by fairly quickly.
They could veer, you know.
Door? Where do you live? Under a bridge?
No, he's damn it. Okay.
I know I might live on a chip bag, but goddamn, at least I've got shelter.
He's just worried about the truck's apiece. That's all. It's okay.
Hey, speaking of that, though, what are your guys' opinion on ghost cars that run people over? Do you think they're real?
There actually is a highway, a U.S. highway that is haunted.
Highway 666.
Oh, not that one. That's towards Arizona, but they're actually one like the New England area. They're actually a haunted stretch of road, like 2 miles or 1 mile long. That a ghost car will appear and try to bring their car off. So many reports on that. As soon as they hit a certain, as soon as they hit a certain mark, the car just disappears. Yeah, and there's nowhere it could disappear to.
I've heard about ghost cars, but I haven't heard about them actually causing damage. Although people have wrecked as a result of either trying to avoid them or racing with them,
or trying to get away from them.
You know what I think the scariest thing would be for a ghost encounter? You're like, say you're road tripping, whether you're alone or with friends, it doesn't really matter. And it's pitch black out, you're driving down a back road, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just see someone standing in front of your car, like the way ghosts appear like that.
Yo, fuck that.
Like a hitchhiker?
Yeah, if I see that, I'm fucking flooring it. Be like, I might go to prison for life, but fuck it, I'm calling your bluff, bitch!
You want to play chicken? We can play chicken. Let's go.
Actually, you know what? If I did that, knowing ghost mythology, it would probably appear in the back seat.
Yeah, you're just driving alone. Next thing you know, you have a passenger right next to you.
That's why you always
what the hell?
That's why you always carry around a sawed-off shotgun filled with rock salt.
No, you have the doors locked. You're just going home. Next thing you take this right. What the hell?
Or you do like I do, and you fill your fucking. When I used to go to places out where I used to live that were really bad, I'd fill my boots. I'd pull my soles out and pour rock salt down in them.
Damn, that's pretty smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you could just get a can of spray paint and spray paint an inverted magic circle on your car, like, ha, bitch, now you can't get in or out.
Shit.
Of course, with my luck, I'd probably paint it the wrong way.
I know, right?
I've always wondered that. Like, have you seen how fucking intricate those things are? What do you do if you, like, one symbol's the wrong way?
Doesn't work, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them are so similar, you could fucking create a summoning circle by trying to create a protection circle.
I like the Necronomicon symbol things. Or you draw certain.
Go to open your door and cut your hand open on the fucking, like, some exposed metal or something. God damn it. Now my car is full of demons. What do I do?
You know, it honestly terrifies me to the core that there are people on this earth that would honestly and unironically be like the newscast comes on, the actual real life Necronomicon has been discovered. There'd be people, let's read it!
That is frightening. Yes, you are correct.
You're right.
It's like, here's what we do. We dig as far to the center of the earth as we possibly can. We throw that fucker down the hole and we put all the dirt back in. And then we build a church up there and consecrate the ground at least once a month.
See, you're obviously missing an opportunity.
Actually, though,
that
reminded me, though. Isn't there a place where there's a giant hole and they think you could hear hell through it? And there's a church built
Mel's
on top
hole.
of it?
No, it's Mel's hole. That's what that was.
Yeah, it's in Russia.
No. Yeah, it is.
This hole on Earth is in Russia. They sealed it off.
Wait a minute. We're talking about
what he's talking about is in Utah or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the deepest hole.
No, it's in Idaho.
It's in Russia.
Idaho. Okay, yeah. No, but he's talking about something entirely different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically the story of Mel's hole was like, basically it's a bottomless fucking pit. People for centuries, the guy Mel who owned the property, he would let them come, throw everything they want, and we're talking fucking refrigerators and old washing machines, and they would fucking just go down the hole. Word started to spread, and then, people came over to investigate. They started to use different measurements, like there was rope, and then there was one of those, I don't remember their name. MC, you probably know their name. What are those things called where, like, it's a little laser dot, and it's able to gauge distance of where the laser lands?
Sonar.
They're what they call LiDAR is what it is.
Oh, LiDAR.
LiDAR. They had a LiDAR that was like 72 miles or whatever, and they shone it in the hole, and there was nothing. And then that's when the government got involved. And now, all of Mel's property is wrapped up in big 15-foot tall Constantino razor wire fence. Not only that, you cannot see Mel's hole on Google Maps. That area is completely blocked off, and this is fucking farmland we're talking about.
And what about the Skinwalker Ranch? There's some crazy shit that happens there too.
Oh God.
But the thing is, when you were talking about the Necronomicon and somebody would want to read it, what you do is you invite those people in and you say, come on up, and you take them to the volcano in Hawaii and you say, here you go, and shove them in with the book. Okay? You get rid of a whole section of people that we really don't need on the earth anymore.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Cleanse the
It is
earth.
a good idea.
Yeah, let's cleanse the earth of crazy assholes.
Fun fact, since we're going into... Oh, go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
I was gonna say, speaking of like real life experiences, though, I'm having an issue with my apartment right now. I'm not gonna lie, my fiance was the first one to stay in it overnight, and he had to walk the house with his gun because he, honest to God, thought somebody was in the house with him.
Oh, I've been there before, except with a knife.
No, he got the 45 out and cleared the house because
Good man.
he walked upstairs and he saw the hallway light come on. He poked his head downstairs and every light in the house was on and all the doors were open. He was like, yep, getting the gun.
Yeah.
Went back upstairs, opened the gun box, took the trigger lock off the gun, racked one up, and walked downstairs and cleared the house.
Just something really minor. When I was living in New Mexico with my girlfriend at the time, she told me this story. She was like, for the first month or so when I moved in, and we're on the absolute top floor of the apartment building. There's no one above us. She told me she would hear stories that, like, above her head were footsteps, like someone in the apartment above you walking around. There wasn't an apartment above us, but there was a fucking attic up there. After a while, she put a padlock on it, and she stopped hearing about it. But when I moved in with her, great mindset to hear about this, and I fucking had dropped ecstasy like 2 hours before, and I heard this noise, and I was like, what was that? And she was like, well, remember that creepy noise I was telling you about? And then my fucking mind was just in paranoia mode.
Oh, wow.
And now it's not really much better because I'm like, I'm not going to say my location, but I'm like 45 minutes from what is rumored to be a Wendigo hunting ground.
How about fuck that? I think that's
no.
Yeah.
No, I got a better idea. How about, the Coast Guard and stuff, when there's a big forest fire, they'll have helicopters that drop gallons of water on it.
Yep.
How about we get those with gasoline, and then we burn down the whole fucking forest? Be like, take this, you native bastard! And honk your crotch like Beetlejuice.
Oh my God.
I'm okay with all of this right now.
Being
it's like American, that shit kind of like, yeah.
You know what's funny?
He wants to invite the damage in further.
I know, right?
I'm 25% Native American, and I've heard some fucking stories about the Wendigo. Fuck that shit. I like my parts attached.
I'd invite you to the volcano viewing if you really want to see it.
You know what fucking terrifies me about the legends? I've heard them all. The biggest one that would probably scare most people is that they're rumored to be fast enough to outrun a bullet. But what scares me is that they're supposedly able to mimic human voices perfectly.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
That's why I don't want to go out there.
I also heard too they put things in your yard, and if you pick it up and bring it in your house, that means you invite them to come into your property pretty much.
You can, because that's basically the whole point of the Wendigo, right? Like the instincts and strength of an animal, but the intelligence of a human.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much. there are fucking. I've heard stories, and this is one of the reasons why I honestly do believe there is a very high chance of one being here. Up in the fucking camping grounds that are like 3 hours north from me, they had to shut it down one summer because a family got murdered in their cabin, and it looks like they had been mauled to death by wild animals. But when they got there, the door was unlocked and open. You know a fucking animal that can unlock a door? Because I fucking don't.
I seriously don't either.
My dog. Funny enough. No, my dog can open every door in the house. Like, he'll stand up and push against the door and, like, pull down with his paws.
I know how it could happen. The kid was like Mad Dodge instead of, oh, look, a cougar. Let me open the door and take a look at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, damn right. I'd walk out there with my bow, though. I'd at least be smart enough. But, yeah, I'm handling this shit.
I can only
Robin Hood style. You got a fucking broadhead in your face. Or in my own foot, because I'm not that good with the bow. I'm better with the gun. But anyway.
You know, like, I can see if I stay here and I end up becoming a father, he opens the wind, like the curtains, and there's just creature there that's like skinny and hunched over with stag horns, and it looks like it can walk on 2 feet or run on 4. And it's like, Daddy, let's invite the pretty puppy inside.
Oh my god.
You go ahead and go outside and play with
no.
the puppy. How about that?
Yeah, you know, you go out there. Look at this. Look at the bright side. You won't notice it until it's over.
Hey, let's talk about the Inuit fucking tradition of the zombie moose.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
Zombie meese.
Wait, no. There's a zombie moose. I am now Googling this right after the
Sounds
show.
Let's Google this
That
too.
sounds like a power metal band that parodies
Zombies.
other power metal bands.
No, funny enough, my fiance was raised in Alaska, and he had Inuit friends who told him that if he saw a putrefied, rotting moose in his dreams, that it was a sign that somebody close to him or himself were going to be in great peril or be dead in a few days.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's almost like the banshee thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
No, banshees were spirits.
Kind of. We were talking about that with Hammered Spud in Discord because he's Irish, and yeah, the banshees are pretty much either an apparition or a spirit. But he actually believes in banshees, and he says leprechauns are bullshit. So I don't know.
This sounds fair to me.
I know someone, well, not know him. I know of someone who believes that like in terms of mythology, leprechauns are bullshit, but gnomes are real. Like,
Wait,
what the fuck?
aren't gnomes leprechauns? Wait a minute.
No, leprechauns are like 1 foot high. Gnomes are like half a foot high. And plus, don't you know what gnomes do? They hide in your house, and then when you go to sleep, they steal your underwear in your underwear drawer.
ew, why?
Okay, well, that was a South Park reference that clearly no one got.
I
I
got
did.
it.
I said, sorry.
Step 1.
Fuck him up!
Still underwear. Step 2. Still underwear. Step 3. Step 4.
Question.
Profit.
Yes. Step 5 is get Tom Cruise out of your damn closet. There's a South Park reference for you.
Dude, I love that so much. I'm never coming out.
But no, I think it's really interesting because the other day, MC was trying to debunk UFOs and saying how, you know, that's all test flights and all this other shit. And tonight, MC is backing up the idea of ghosts. So, MC, defend your position. Which I agree with your position, but defend it anyway.
Defend my position on what? You asked about a very specific incident and very specific things like crop circles, all right, and the Phoenix Lights, where I gave very explicit answers to them.
I mean, not all UFOs are man-made. Some of them you cannot really tell if it's
right.
really Earth-made or actually.
We don't know what
So,
happened with other things, but
Are we talking general unidentified flying objects, or are we going like aliens?
well, they were going full aliens, but that's not what I was going.
That's right, we were going full on alien, man.
Well, my commentary was very specific because I got asked specifically about the Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights were flares. I'm telling you now. If you take a look at all the camera footage and everything, they don't move, It looks like they're floating more or less, right? These are freaking flares. That's what they look like to me. It is a sensible explanation, and it seems to be an accurate one. Now, when you talk about other UFO incidents, it would be interesting to delve into the specifics of those things prior to declaring them. But as far as my belief in ghosts and so forth, what am I supposed to believe, that the ghosts are actually the aliens? Is that what you're trying to indicate here?
Yes, put
Hey,
on your
that-
tinfoil hats.
That's a possibility. You can't prove it's wrong, and I can't prove it's right. Therefore, it means it's a possibility.
It might be a possibility, but that doesn't mean I have to sit up there and believe it either.
Yeah,
There
two of them.
goes,
I gotta ask all you guys. Then, do you honestly believe at any point in history that aliens have been to Earth?
No.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
believe that they're here now, but I do believe they've been here in the past.
There's like ancient objects and things that have alien spaceships supposedly on them, or like
And
paintings.
not only that,
I think
What-
people are
what was
seeing
it like
what they
the-
want to see in those things.
what was it like the Aztecs or Incas that actually used the words "flying metal ships" or something like that? I don't know the whole story. It's been a long ass time since I've researched it.
Yeah, and like little trinkets were made of gold too, of like little like airplanes and things, like hundreds of years ago. Like, how would they know about that? I don't know.
You know what would be a funny theory? First base societies are established, right? Mayans, Egyptians, whatever. Aliens come down and give us just enough technology to innovate, but not enough to where we would be able to do anything besides fuck us over. And now they're probably just sitting back watching.
Laughing their asses
Yeah.
off too.
Watching the dumpster fire.
Well, that's
Comedy Channel Earth.
yeah, that's my theory, because if there's one thing that I know is true, it's that everyone enjoys a good dumpster fire every once in a while.
Oh, fuck
know,
yeah, dude.
Like
Like
mundane
galactic-
Matt's career.
A galactic Truman Show, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Dude,
like,
for-
is Earth a YouTube channel now? Or are we like having our midlife channel crisis here?
Well, we're,
Sounds.
YouTube channel.
We're a
Watch
big ass
out.
drama show.
watch out for the freaking editor. We're gonna get spliced.
The Truman Show actually like brings about one of my I can't watch it because it plays on one of my number one most irrational fears, which I think everybody has a couple of those. You ever seen the Twilight episode Person or Persons Mistaken, or I think it's what it's called. Or Person or Persons Unknown, that's what it's called.
What's the theme of it?
The dude wakes up and literally no one on this fucking planet knows who he is. Like, imagine
I'm
that.
thinking about the one where the last man on Earth.
No, that's Mr. No, that's Time to Last. That's what that was called.
Or he breaks his glasses.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
All time.
God, I remember that.
that's actually like my favorite episode.
No, I like the Twilight Zone movie where Shatner's like, "There's something on the wing."
Oh my god.
Oh, the plane episode. That's another one favorite.
Dude, you know what's
The updated version of that is
Go
much
ahead.
better. The
It is.
updated. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was agreeing with you. All I said was it is.
Yeah, the one that where they remade that one, that episode, the one Dan Aykroyd did that on. I think it was the movie, the Twilight Zone, the movie. That one was that one was done far better, right? Was really quite interesting. I especially like it when he grabs him in the face and gives him that finger. No, takes off.
Have you does anybody else here watch Third Rock from the Sun?
I used to.
Well, so you know how when the Twilight Zone movie came out, that Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, what was it? William Shatner was replaced with John Lithgow,
Yes.
who was a fucking superb actor, by the way. I loved him in Dexter. Well, in Third Rock from the Sun, basically the idea is that there are aliens sent to Earth, but to observe and record and try to become like humans. And they contacted their leader and flew him in a meat suit, and their leader was played by William Shatner because of fucking course it was.
Yeah.
And they were meeting him at the airport, and Shatner came out and he looks all terrified, and they're like, "Leader, what is it?" And he's like, "I saw something on the wing, but nobody would do anything about it." And Lithgow was like, "I did too."
Oh, I miss that show now.
The ending makes me cry every time, and I'll fully admit it. Very
Well,
sad, but very happy.
I never saw the ending, so don't spoil it, because I used to watch that show also. I just never got to the end. Kind of like I've never seen the last season of Lost, and there's a reason for that. Everyone said they fucked it up, so I'm gonna forget it exists. I'm not watching it.
All I'm gonna say about it is, in true fashion of something like Red Dead Redemption or LA Noire, the ending will make you cry your eyes out. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, like the ending of Halo 4.
I mean, if you want to talk, if you're crying because of how much of an utter disappointment it was, yeah.
Oh no, not that. I was like, it was sad. To me, it was sad since I've been following Halo since Combat Evolved. That ending out there got me the feels.
But no. To wrap it back around to the paranormal, what do you guys think about the Amityville house? Do you think it was all a ploy to make a shit ton of money? Because that's what ended up happening. There's no way they could have known it at the time, though. Or do you think there was actual phenomenon there after those murders? And now I'll let you go.
Well, here's my theory. They say Texas Chainsaw is based off a true story, but it's as based off a true story as Dungeons and Dragons is based off of reality. So I think something might have happened there, like something small, but then when they realized what a cash grab opportunity this was, they fucking blew it up and started exaggerating and shit.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based off the murders of Ed Gein. How he actually murdered his dying mother, skinned her, and wore her skin over top of his. He dug up dead bodies just to make furniture and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what actually happened in Amityville is Ed Gein, and what they're saying happened is Texas Chainsaw. That's why I made the comparison.
Like all these, you say based on or inspired by a true story.
Yeah, loosely based on or inspired. Yeah, they take a lot of artistic license when they do that stuff.
I don't know why they even have to do that, because there's fucking nothing in the world scarier than reality.
Well, no, and why exactly would you buy a house, live there for 28 days, and never go back again? And you also had that paranormal team that we talked about earlier, fucking Ed and Lorraine, I think her name is, show up and say that there was shit there. I don't know if that's true. They made a living and a career off the paranormal. I don't necessarily trust you when you're making millions of dollars off it.
That's one thing that does bother me. All right, and is that unfortunately, like I said, I do believe in paranormal. I do believe in things like that. But what's bad is that there's always those assholes who want to exploit that.
Yeah.
And they go to the point of exploiting people and the charlatans, the seances of the early 1900s, all that crap. And all they do is they make a mockery of what's really going on out there, right?
Not to mention the massive disrespect for the dead.
Well, exactly. So you look at this and it's like, why is it so necessary, right, to demean people left and right? Why is it that you've got to do this kind of stuff? Look, we're not, as far as I'm concerned, we're not meant to know everything. We're meant to explore. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with people looking into things and trying to learn and pushing the boundaries of what we know, because we're innately curious beings. We always have been and we always will be. But I still believe that we don't know everything, and to, quite frankly, after the more questions we ask, we end up, or the more we find out, the more questions are actually out there, all right, that don't have answers to, that we would like to try and research. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, it makes a nice, wonderful world and a universe to explore, in an ever-changing, wondrous universe. I mean, it's remarkable in that regard. But the hubris of saying that at some point we're going to know it all, or that we do know it all, and it can't be this and it can't be that, without any kind of logical consequence, or logical, rather, rationale behind it. And just because you have a rational, logical explanation of something doesn't always mean it's correct. Just because you can say, okay, I'm going to follow this rational, logical trend to the end here, it can still lead you to the wrong conclusion. It can still lead you to to the wrong answers. And it's bad that when people toy with that and then use that at people that are hurting, people that are susceptible to they miss their loved ones and stuff. And
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that causes even more harm, especially if it's true that they are being haunted and that a ghost is trying to help them get over the pain of the loss. And here comes this asshole who makes things even worse.
Well, I heard you guys. I had to go for a second because I'm at work, obviously, but I work third shift, and my guys can sleep through a fucking tornado. They have. But I heard you guys bring up Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I wanted to touch on that for a second.
Sure.
Ed and Lorraine Warren didn't exploit shit. The Ed and Lorraine Occult Museum, like their collection of shit that people go and see, started out as somebody asking them to take something from their house. Like that's how that shit started. They didn't start out with the intent of building an attraction necessarily. You know what I mean? They didn't go into it with that mindset. They went into it with the mindset of helping people and studying it.
Like their
Yes.
intentions were pure, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
and
what-
they kept that too. They kept that in those intentions. Did they market it and treat it as an attraction at a certain point? Yes, because guess what? Everybody has fucking bills to pay.
True.
Well, no, that's a fair point. I think mainly what I was talking about, and I used them as an example because we had brought them up already, and they did make a shit ton of money, all right, and they still, well, the surviving one still is. But I was mainly talking about like the people Houdini went after, the mediums, the psychics, the ones that say, I can
James
talk
Rand.
to, yeah, I could talk to your fucking dead sister. In my case, like my sister died. I don't want some asshole saying I could talk to your dead sister. Is her name fucking whatever until he guesses it fucking right.
No, they
Like,
ask you the
I mean,
questions. They
That
get the
fucking cunt,
answers.
Sylvia Brown.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Oh my fucking god, she made me furious because, like, it's one thing to I wasn't mad she was exploiting stupidity. I was mad that stupidity was that widespread. That's what it was.
I'm with you on that one.
Human beings are gonna exploit each other. It's the fucking way it is. But, like, god damn it, man. Why you gotta be so dumb? It's always the same shit, too. You ever notice that? It's like, what's my sister doing in heaven? Can she tell? We can't find her last will. Can you contact her and tell me the hiding place of it? Well, she's up in heaven and she's seeing everyone else that you guys have lost, and she loves you very much. Now, give me $200.
Now give me my money.
well, no,
You know,
and I
like,
found
honestly,
out-
like you said, everyone has bills to pay, but if you were truly a medium and you could contact the fucking spirit world, wouldn't the first thing you do would be set out and use your gifts free of charge to help people? Or prove to a fucking scientist, hey, you want me to bring a ghost in here? Watch, I'll snap my fingers and the temperature will drop 30 degrees.
Well, Edgar Casey is an example of someone who never made a dime off of his quote unquote psychic abilities. So there is that, and he actually treated a bunch of people. But no, I remember watching Penn and Teller's bullshit, and they were doing it about psychics, and they went through how before the damn show they screen the motherfuckers already and have a little list of who are you trying to contact and shit. Like, they already know everything to try and pretend to be a psychic. Like, they already got the fucking info in their fucking teleprompter. It's fucking Obama up there. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, what I was thinking about though specifically was what's his name, Houdini, and what these fake psychics put his mother through.
Oh, yeah, that poor guy.
Oh, Houdini went on a goddamn witch hunt, though. He started debunking them left and fucking right, man. He got pissed.
It's
Yes.
because he does actual magic, and he was pissed off that they were just using smoke and mirrors and calling it magic.
I mean, debunking these people are so easy. Go to a psychic location, just ask them, if you can guess what's in my head right now, I'll pay for the session. And think of something awful you'll never guess.
I'll do it right now. cock.
Woo! He got mine.
Okay, no, for you it's cock. For him it's traps.
There we go.
Just you gotta go in there and just take out about 2 roosters fucking, and they'll say, "Oh, you want to contact your dead one?"
How did we get this whole stream turned into Sargon now? Come on now.
If I went to a psychic and they could actually do that, I'd be like, "Hey, I'll pay you money to guess what's in my head right now." Okay, let me do my chanting. Oh, you sick fuck.
Tiger Lily, can you do me a huge favor? And I think somebody in the chat might want the Discord link. He asked he or she, I don't know, but they asked if we had like a green room where we do after hours hangouts. Well, that's my Discord. So
I got you.
All right.
Are we doing that tonight? I would much like to do that and continue the topic because I know we can't stream for fucking all night.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Season 15 of Diablo just started. I'm doing nothing but power leveling tonight.
All right, good shit.
I'm done playing Fortnite, so I can stay up all night. If I need to, I'll make a pot of coffee.
Ah, fuck.
But and I need a good distraction anyway. But no, is there anything else you guys want to bring up here? And Tiger Lily, you paid for this stream quite literally. What do you want to talk about next, or do you want to head into Discord? It's up to you.
We can head into Discord. I'll save it for later.
Well, I do want to bring up one thing, though, and it was a story earlier that we went off the topic from ghosts for a bit that I didn't get to tell. The story of the Somerville Light down in North or South Carolina. Basically, this woman was married to a train conductor. I forget, is the conductor like the guy who punches tickets or the guy who drives the train? Whatever, she was married to the guy who drives the train. And there was this thing, I don't know if they still do it, it was because this was in the 1800s, where you drive the train after the last stop, and then the person who puts the train in the station takes over. Well, at midnight, when the man was done with his shift, his wife would come out, for 15 years they did this, with a lantern and guide him back. His life started going to shit, and he became an alcoholic and started drinking on the job. One day, he was so fucking drunk, he stumbled onto the track because his wife was late and wasn't there with any light, and the train decapitated him. And legend has it, if you go there at night, you can still see the light floating.
Well, yeah, no, and there's actually a story I heard out of, God damn it, I want to say Virginia, but I'm not quite sure. But at this railroad track, a bus got hit by a train. Yeah, exactly. This bus got hit by a train, and now if you're parked there, and if your car's all dusty and shit,
City, because the story goes from Salt Lake City to Texas. Yeah, it's in Salt Lake. But the actual location.
Go ahead and finish it. You actually, you know where it's at. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah, they say like the location always varies, but really, Audi go to the actual location. What causes your car go forward towards the train? It's an optical illusion to your brain. You're actually on a downslope, go across, but this downslope is so small you can't really see it.
Yeah,
so
but I heard
actually an opposite illusion. It's not. It's one of those like, tall tales.
Yeah, but they said that you can actually see handprints on, like, if your car's all dusty and shit, you can see handprints that look like your car was being pushed.
That's another thing.
They also say you can hear a mother and a child crying if you're there at the right time of night.
Yeah, like the place that happens is Salt Lake City, but there's all the tall tales it's around the country. And a lot of the locations that said it happens here, it's literally an optical illusion where you think you're going uphill, but on downhill.
Okay, wait. We're about to log off, or go off air, sorry. So, we cannot do a fucking paranormal stream without bringing this up. Bigfoot.
Yep.
He's
God
fake.
damn it. No, he's not fucking fake. And
He's
God
fake.
damn it.
Is the Bigfoot fake? I believe so. Is there a creature like Bigfoot out there in the wilderness? I would bet yes, because giant pandas were a myth until the 70s when they discovered them.
Yeah, so were the giant squid. And that's pretty much where the Kraken story came from. So yeah, and
Bigfoot was at one point. This has been proven, so people can say whatever they want. Bigfoot was at one point an actual real animal that walked with humans as recently as 100,000 years ago. Look it up. It's called Gigantopithecus.
You're correct. And you're specifically talking about a subspecies called Gigantopithecus blackie.
Yeah, the ones that walk on two legs, right?
That is the actual fucking scientific name for it.
Yeah, those are the ones that walk on two legs, right? Just like bears can do.
No, they were the larger species.
I wouldn't have a problem with all these finding Bigfoot people if they didn't ever you see the flash frame of it for 1 second in the bottom corner, and it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I know. And the last time I argued about Bigfoot, a good point was brought up that I keep thinking about, because it was a very good point. Why is there always only one footprint?
Yes.
I mean, that is a good fucking point.
Even in the snow, only one footprint in the snow.
Here's what I want.
Actually, that's kind of a misnomer. There are a number of quote unquote Bigfoot where it was a series of prints. They're not always one.
Why have we never found a giant pile of shit the size of a fucking smart car that came from Bigfoot?
Because he probably digs a hole. Like I said, he probably buries his dead too. I'm telling you.
But the one footprint shit, it makes you stop believing on. There's always that one footprint in the biggest forest you can find. There'll be one footprint in the middle of it. You can see all the tracks of all the other animals that went to Bigfoot footprint.
It's because I can't afford a second plaster mold.
I said last time they play hopscotch. That's what's going on.
Well, since we're on the topic of Bigfoot, here's something I absolutely believe is real. Yetis in the Himalayas.
Mothman, I believe in him.
I can ride with that.
I don't know which one to go after first. The Yeti, because you guys are fucking with me about Bigfoot, and that's a snow Bigfoot. Go fuck yourself. It's the same thing.
I said it was real. I just don't believe the entity called Bigfoot is real. It's the species was real. Why couldn't there still be some alive today? Just because they're on the verge of extinction doesn't mean they're extinct.
Okay, then I'm going to attack Mothman, or whatever the fuck his name was. Mothra.
His name is
Somebody's trying to.
Mothman's name is Arthur. He's the sidekick of the Tick. God, I feel old referencing that.
No, you're
okay.
You're a giant moth creature, all right? You're a giant moth creature. Instead of going after a giant light source like another moth would, you just hang out on a fucking bridge and you collapse it. I don't know. That's pretty weird.
Sorry,
when I was a truck driver and drove through that town 2 times, I always looked around to see if I can see the Mothman. Because people who live in that town praise him, because if he was not on the bridge, they would not know the bridge is going to collapse. So they really believe he's an early detector of danger, and he's trying to warn the people not to go somewhere.
So he's the opposite of Slender Man. So all hail fucking Mothman. All right.
Honestly, look it up. A lot of the old people who lived during the time frame where the bridge fell, they say the Mothman brings bad news of something you don't want to do. So if you see the Mothman in a building or on top of a building, everybody knows to stay away from that building because something bad's about to happen.
So he's a death omen.
Pretty much.
Okay. Madlib, did you have anything else to say about Yetis or Mothman?
All hail Mothman.
All hail Mothman.
Okay.
Scoot over, Doug. Praise Mothman.
Yeah.
What's next? The Slender Man?
Well, Slender Man is interesting. Slender Man's interesting just because 2 little girls decided to take that shit way out of control. But that's a tale for a different fucking night.
Do you know how he started, though? The legend of Slender Man started?
It was creepypasta, right? It was just a random post on the internet.
That's the one that gave it the name Slender Man, but the actual creature of the Slender Man. Do you know his origins? Because it's actually kind of cool.
Black Forest of Germany, if I remember right.
Yep, it was a
And candy chops.
Oh, okay. Well, Ferret, then you finish because I actually didn't know that. I thought it was just a fucking urban
Nope.
legend.
Black
Oh,
Forest
no,
of
it's Black
Germany.
Forest.
Slenderman was used as the German boogeyman. If your kids didn't act right, you told me you're going to send them out in the woods to deal with Slenderman. Of course, he has a German name and everything, but yeah, that was essentially it. He's the German boogeyman.
Yep. But well, what would you expect coming from fucking Germany? They think a nasty, horrible old hag of a woman trying to devour 2 children makes a good bedtime story.
Yeah, and they still vote for Merkel.
Dude, that's nothing. I think
Nobody
Norway,
voted for Merkel. The votes are all fucking faked over there. Nobody voted for Merkel. I guarantee it. But this is not a political stream.
You want to know when?
Yeah, I know.
The Christmas.
Why?
They're supposed to kidnap children. Black Peter from Norway. Santa Claus is able to enslave the devil for one night, so the devil goes as Black Peter. And there's been Dutch mothers who've been said, better watch out or Black Peter is going to get you because Black Peter's going to take you straight to hell and beat you with a fucking stick.
I thought you were going to go into Krampus there for a second.
No, it's literally Dutch.
Hmm.
Santa Claus comes with Black Peter, and Black Peter is the devil. He's going to beat you if you've been naughty.
He's going to get that switch.
Well, no, Krampus is actually interesting. They have a whole festival around it. I kind of want one of those, or whatever it's called. I kind of want one of those masks.
I will now forever refer to DJT as Trumpus. Thank you.
I said Krampus. That was a K there.
I know, but it just reminded me of it because his name is Krampus.
Because he's like that's a pronunciation thing. You're gonna fuck with me about that
when he walks.
Krampus, we're gonna keep that pimp hand.
Oh, this always ends up this way.
You know when it's Trumpus because you'll have a gold cape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thinking about that makes me want to see a movie like watching the trailer for the new Halloween movie. I'm like, dude, at this point, Michael Myers has got to be so fucking old that he'd like, God damn it. Okay, just.
Where's my oxygen? Where's my wheelchair?
At this point, you could just like flying elbow smash him in the back.
Just flip his wheelchair. He won't be able to move.
Well,
I want to see a serial killer in a wheelchair now.
At least we don't have the Robo Santa from fucking Futurama. That would be some fucking trouble.
Santa Claus.
Robo Santa.
But no, yeah. Anybody else got anything else paranormal you want to talk about, or should we just take this off air? We can go ahead and hit Discord.
Let's move it to Discord.
Yeah.
Remember, everyone, it takes 2 people to make love, just like it takes 2 fingers to make the peace sign. So when you flip someone the bird, you're jerking off. Good night.
Yeah.
Wait, Big Fat Brian's here.
He is?
Oh, he showed up late.
Hey, Brian.
Late,
we're giving closing messages. You want to join in?
God damn it, Brian. You're always late. What were you doing? Cooking? Probably.
Dude, I came into Medicare stream just as it was ending earlier. I was so pissed off.
Okay.
Even though we joined late, halfway or mid-late, paranormal stories. I haven't heard anything yet.
He wants a link.
Oh, we're gonna bounce into my Discord here in a second, Brian. Meet us in there. You're already a member, so we'll be in general.
We're gonna continue this anyway. Right?
Yeah, we're just gonna bullshit. Yeah, we're gonna bullshit about the paranormal for a while tonight.
We're YouTubers. We go to
on another stream. That is, we're gonna continue this.
Oh yeah, on Friday.
Absolutely.
On Friday I have a ghost hunting channel coming on, and they just pretty much debunk everything. I haven't seen a single video where they're like, "This is a real ghost." So tonight was like, we believe in it, and Friday is gonna be them fucking debunking everything we said tonight. It'll be fun.
Oh, I want them to try to debunk the little girl that said hi to me in the lunatic asylum. when I was the youngest person in there, and nobody's to my left in the room set to the door.
Oh, wait a minute. Before we go off air, there is a topic I would actually like to bring up.
Okay, then I'll just throw the link out. That way Brian can come in and bullshit too. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Revenants through reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
That's when, like, 3-year-old babies have nightmares about being a World War II pilot who fucking nosedives into the...
I
Yeah.
believe in that shit.
Yeah, they know all they remember all the details and where they died and stuff and what happened.
Yeah, there was
Not
a story
only-
about a boy who actually did that, and, like, when he was learning how to... Like, he didn't... These are the parents, they didn't let him watch TV, they didn't let him do anything, and because they wanted to be very hands-on. And when they were teaching him to read, they tried to teach him how to say the word no. And the first ever time he looked at the word, he said 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was screaming nightmares about a man trapped in a plane underwater.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
remember watching a TV special on that.
Yeah, I saw that, and I also saw this little boy who remembered his killer. Like, he was killed with a shovel or something, and they went to the town, and he found his killer, and he remembered the details about it, and yeah, he pretty much was arrested. They found the body and everything.
Well, no,
Fucking scary.
it's a weird theory I've always had, even since I was a kid. But I have a birthmark on the back of my leg or whatever, and lots of people have birthmarks. And I always thought, is the birthmark, like where you fucking died in your past life or whatever?
Yeah.
And
if that was true,
this kid
I'd die being shot in the knee. I shit you not.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting because this boy, he's a different one because he wasn't a German pilot in a past life, supposedly. He was actually a British pilot, I believe. And he remembered everything as well. And he freaking ended up going to a meetup with some of the people that were actually, serving with the person. And they all believe that he was reincarnated. It's a really interesting story. But he has a birthmark right where the other guy died, like where he was shot when he was shot down, because it came through the plane and hit him, and he died, and then the plane crashed.
My sister knows someone, my friend's sister knows someone who was shot in the neck and then killed, and then when her sister's baby was born, it was born with like a birthmark right on the fucking side of its neck, and that was just like... It's one of those things where it probably doesn't mean nothing, but the level of coincidence just gives you the fucking shivers.
Yeah, reincarnation, I do believe is real.
I do too. I don't necessarily believe in the way the Buddhists do, but I do believe, like, whether it's this world or even to another plane of existence, I don't believe death is the end. Death is nothing to fear. That's the big question we've all been looking forward to answering, right? Where do we go when we die?
Back to another human body. And we won't remember the past life.
Well, yeah, reincarnation is really interesting, especially with the stories that are so accurate, coming from little children, because then they end up forgetting later on in life. As they grow up, those memories start to fade away. And that would make sense to me. So it is really interesting. But anything else, you guys, or should we just log off and head into Discord?
I'm done.
I'm done.
I do remember one story of one child. He was pretending. He was describing his past life, and he was like doing everything he remembered. But it was like during the Civil War, Revolutionary War. But he was watching Thomas the Train, so he had no idea what these past wars were, and he was describing it so well.
Do you guys believe children can communicate with, entities better than adults can?
I think so.
I do,
Why
but
do you
I'll
think
share
that
that
is?
theory when we hit Discord.
Just keep talking.
No, let's be nice to Madlib's bandwidth.
Yeah, fuck his bandwidth. Let's just keep talking. Make it 5 hours.
Just fucking, I don't know, like, does everyone have those stories where, like, their parents tell them that when they were babies, they would hear them talking in their room, and then when they come out, they'd be like, who are you talking to? And they'd be like, oh, the guy. And you'd just be looking at the ceiling or whatever.
That never happened to me.
That happened with me with my son. He had a make-believe friend, whatever, and his name was Nate, and he would talk to him.
Well, everyone has an imaginary friend, but like there are some of them that it gets really weird to the point where it's almost like they're not making it up.
It's an actual spirit.
Like
Yeah.
Laughing Jack.
But yeah, let's take it to Discord though.
Agreed.
The paying Patreon has spoke. Good night, everyone.
That's right. Good
Good night,
night,
everyone.
folks.
Genital warts.
It's going to end now. Mad Dodge left.
Oh dear.
Damn it. Wait a minute. Are we still live then?
Yes.
Yes.
Free Willy.
I've exercised him. He's my new meat suit.
Oh my god.
Hoodie Demon runs this stream now, and this stream will forever be dedicated to worshipping traps.
Traps are gay. Unless you like it.
Oh boy, do I have some fucking pictures for you in your DMs.
Please tell me you met him and not me.
I mean you, Hoodie Demon.
Oh
He's
god.
already-
Quick, let me go to MadLib server and make sure I can't receive DMs from anyone who's not on my friends list.
Good thing I already sent you a friend request.
Decline.
You
No, I'm just
bitch.
Wait a minute, so I'm confused. Traps are gay, but if you like traps, then it's suddenly not gay?
I'm so confused.
I get it. I mean, it's like sucking dick for money. It's only gay if you like it.
Hey, $20 is $20.
But you're still
That's
gay.
that's what I'm saying. Though I would be concerned about your clientele if you're sucking dick for $20.
How is this paranormal?
Because thanks to fucking SJWdom, no woman ever gives blowjobs anymore, so now they're mythical as ghosts.
Yes.
Good thing I'm gay. That works.
That works. It does work.
So do you like tits, Hoodie Demon?
I will answer that when we go to Discord.
What straight man doesn't like tits?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
so-
you know why I'm asking him.
Dude, I've had what is it? I've been on so many the Deviant stream and the Gore stream. Like, if you want to know my fetishes, you could probably just look hard enough and you'll find it.
It's a foot fetish. I bet.
I
God
wouldn't
damn it,
say
you have the same thing going on with your fucking DMs where I can't send you lewd shit. God damn it.
I was gonna say, honestly, I wouldn't say it's a foot fetish, but it is nice when a girl takes special attention to keep her feet looking nice.
Okay, it's a foot fetish with a toe ring. Okay. Goes the extra mile.
But I think it's because it's what do you call it? I think it's because the alternative is werewolf feet. Do you really want a girl with those? 'Cause I don't.
Or hobbit feet.
I had a
all
really
big-
bad first experience, so I think this is all just related to the fact that I like a girl who pays really close attention to hygiene.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Same for the man.
Yeah, but I'll tell you guys that story when we go to Discord, because I don't want to get Madlib's channel taken down if we're still streaming.
Yeah.
It's still live.
We are
on my
still
side.
live.
So what if we all just left? What if we all just
So what's
I need a
paranormal
drink.
to this?
Wait a minute, so what happened then? Because if we're still streaming, obviously his computer didn't crash.
I don't see him.
He's not
That's
on
what it
Discord
was.
either.
Oh my god, we were talking about fucking... Oh my god, the Wendigo got him.
Oh my gosh.
Or he just got possessed.
Now we're stuck on YouTube.
Dude, that's oh man, there was a really, really good mindfuck of an SCP based on that concept. It was back in the day, everybody had DVRs.
Yeah.
It was based on that sort of deal. It was they would record it. Oh, wait, are we getting pulled out?
We are still live. I just checked YouTube.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Let's see here. It's 23:45 my time. And 23:42. The watcher says, "Get okay, bye."
I just had somebody DM me and tell me the stream's still going and they're still watching. So
Sweet.
Nice.
Let's do this shit then.
From paranormal to random shit. That's
Oh,
good.
hey,
Well,
Ferret, that's
actually-
you.
Well, there's something I was gonna bring up. Where I live, there's a road called Clinton Road, and there's a lot of crazy things that happen. It was
I
supposedly-
wonder why.
Yeah, it was like Indian burial kind of place or some kind of Indian thing, and there's like all these car